Hey everybody, welcome back to the My Bourbon Journey Whiskey Review channel. My name is Scott. If you're new to this channel and you're looking for reviews of different whiskeys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also make sure to hit the bell notification. That's going to alert you to when I'm doing new uploads, live streams, things along those lines. So today from Limestone Branch Distillery out of Lebanon, Kentucky, we've got the minor case sherry cask finished straight rye whiskey. So mouthful there. So what this is this is a 2-year MGP. So they're sourcing their rye from MGP and then bringing it back, finishing it in the Myers Winery sherry casks for upwards of 8 months. Now, just in tasting this one already, I don't know if this is sat in the sherry casks for upwards of 8 months. Well, we'll kind of get into that in a little bit. So. This is the mash bill on this is a 51% rye, 45% corn, and 4% malted barley. So it's just meeting the qualifications legally to be considered a rye whiskey. This is coming in at 90 proof or 45% ABV. Again, non-age stated, but we know that it's a straight rye whiskey. So minimum at this point of 2 years old. MSRP on this one is anywhere from that maybe $40 to $50 range. So, and recently they just went through a new kind of bottle kind of overhaul. The white kind of embossed part of it was clear before, so it never really showed up nearly as much. So the new bottles will have that kind of white etched lettering on the bottle. So. All right, let's go ahead and we'll kind of get into the review. So typically what I try to do with most or all of my reviews is we'll go through the appearance, we'll nose it, we'll taste it, then we'll kind of get into the finish part of it and go through really any other general information. So, all right, so as you can see with this one, kind of a light, this is a really light kind of copper type of color. So, you know, again, with it only being a 2-year rye, there's not going to be a lot of color on it. But with this one, you know, and it being as light as it is, it's not giving me the impression that it sat in the sherry barrels for you know, any length of time. Now, I could be wrong, but it just based on the color doesn't give me that impression. So, all right, let's get into the nose on this one. So. So right away, this nice kind of citrus note that's kind of coming out. That rye spice, even though it's on the lower end of it being a rye, that spice factor still kind of comes out with it. Very little heat on it. And again, that citrus is more along the lines of like a green apple, pear, something along those lines. And then really here comes the sherry influence or the wine influence. That finishing aspect really kind of starts to shine a little bit now, especially as it opens up a little bit. Nice kind of floral note to that as well. Even a little bit of a vanilla note to it. But it's fairly citrus forward for me, more along the line, the green citrus, the apples, the pears, and then that underlying kind of sherry or wine note to it. So, all right, let's go ahead and we'll get into the taste. Cheers. So right away, even though this is a lower rye mash bill, right away you get a hit with that nice spice to it. More than I was expecting. Right there in that mid to the back of the palate, that spice is just kind of sitting there. That green citrus again starts to kind of come out in this one. Again, more, you know, apple, pear, things along those lines kind of dominant. But that finish aspect to it, so the secondary finishing, you know, the sherry, it's not overly dominant from a sherry standpoint by any means, but there is that nice finishing aspect to it that gives you just that second layer of flavor that's there. And I'm not getting the impression with it being only a 2-year rye that there's a lot of youth to it, and that the youth is being hidden by the sherry or the finishing, part of this. A lot of times people will kind of go down that road to maybe hide some imperfections, within their whiskey, but I'm not getting that with this at all. It seems to be a quality 2-year rye with a nice kind of secondary finishing with the sherry casks. And again, it does matter the type of cask. So if it's a quality sherry or quality product that's there before, that all helps in the finishing part of it as well. So that's something to always consider, as well, is that what are the barrels that it's finished in, prior. So again, really nice kind of creamy mouthfeel to it, but it's fairly citrus forward. Nice spice again to it. Just a really nice, well-rounded, finished rye whiskey. Honestly, this is one that my wife, who's kind of new to whiskey, really gravitates towards. She likes this quite a bit. She's a fan of rye whiskey, and just that finishing aspect for her was something that just kind of fit well for her. So it's something that she really, really enjoys as well. So, but fantastic rye whiskey. So. I would say finish-wise on this one, you're probably more along the lines of medium. Again, that green citrus is really kind of wanting to come out in this one. That oak, and I say sherry, but it's more of just a finishing aspect to it that's there. You wouldn't necessarily know, I don't think, based on this profile, that it was necessarily sherry, but it is a really nice just finishing aspect to it. And the other nice part is where the finish kind of goes with this. This is all mid to the back of the palate, that nice rye spice that's there. More spice than I would really expect for a 51% rye mash bill. It's got a really nice rye kick to it. Nothing typical about this. I'm not getting much of that mint or dill from the rye at all, but that finishing aspect just kind of really rounds out a already what tastes like a quality 2-year rye whiskey. So I think they've done a really, really nice job over at Limestone Branch Distillery with this one. So again, just a little bit of a recap on this one. Mash bill on the minor case sherry cask finished straight rye whiskey, 51% rye, 45% corn, 4% malted barley, 90 proof, right in that $45 to $50 price range. So I'll have links in the description below for them. So if you want to check them out, feel free to do so. Also, make sure you leave some comments, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the bell notification, and then also let me know, is this something that you've tried or have before, and your thoughts. I'm always interested to hear what other people are trying, and kind of whether or not you like it and all of that. So also, if you want to follow me, you can on my Instagram at mybourbonjourney. You can through Twitter, mybourbonjourney there as well. Also have a mybourbonjourney whiskey review channel on Facebook. So if you want to check that out and subscribe, you can there as well. So I'd like to thank everybody for again joining me for another review, and hopefully we'll see everybody next time. And like I say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers.